Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone has enjoyed their lunch. So, resuming back our AgriNext second edition conference, for this session, the topic is Rainforest Microbiome Life Power, the key to healthy, productive, climate-smart agriculture. And the speaker is Estacio Ferreira Ramos. Dr. Ramos is the Chief Executive Officer of Nanobiome, a pioneering Brazilian biotech company at the forefront of microbiome-based technologies. He has 38 years of excellence in medicine and research. Dr. Ramos has developed regenerative biosolutions. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for the attention. Let's start. Nanobiome is a company in Brazil, is a startup, and we are working in biosolutions, and we have been successful in many of the applications we have developed. Actually, I am asking, what am I doing here? I am a medical doctor. I shouldn't be here, but I'm here to tell you a story. This story began 3.8 billion years ago, and 25 years ago, it entered a medical laboratory as a line of research, and I initiated the study of microbiome and probiotics for the solution of a very hard disease. And we were very successful in this. And after this success, we started working in many other biosolutions because we dominated the technology to handle the microbiome of the Atlantic rainforest. That QR code leads to the research. It's published in LinkedIn as an editorial project of 21 chapters, but it's a medical research. In January 2013, I won this prize on what challenges would agricultural technology need to meet to feed the world in 2050. And I won this challenge by saying that, proving that the solution is to save the soils of the earth. And the way to save the soils is to save its microbiome. Everything begins with the microbiome. All life begins with microbiome, as I will show you. This story begins with this statement: life is not rare. Life is pulverized, is scattered in the universe as a remarkably resistant, all-powerful, omnipotent microseeds. Yes, microbeings, very little invisible beings that came into the earth after the late heavy bombardment, after which the first microorganisms appeared on earth. Astrobiology today is a science, and it began with the discovery of amino acids and proteins in meteors and asteroids. Two specifically are very important: the Murchison meteor that fell in Australia and the Aguasarcas meteorite that fell in Costa Rica. Both had amino acids not found on Earth, and the Murchison meteorite had strange proteins. Other evidence is the presence of strange bacteria attached to the International Space Station. When we look to the appearance and the evolution of life on the planet, we see that 3.8 billion years ago, the first microorganisms appeared. And I won't take much time in this slide, but the forests just appeared 350 million years ago. And the forests are the epitome, are the apex of the evolution of life on this planet. But life is demanding. Life requires air, light, food. Life requires an atmosphere. Life requires water. And it's not common to find these conditions in the universe. Actually, rare are the worlds where life can blossom. So far, we only know of one single little planet racing and among trillions of other planets in the Milky Way at 43,000 kilometers per hour. Life emerged in this planet as a breathing atmosphere, a living atmosphere, as magnificent oceans full of life, and forests. And the most impressive forest on Earth in terms of biodiversity is the Atlantic rainforest in Brazil. No place in the world has more biodiversity than the Atlantic rainforest. A forest is something very impressive in biological terms. A rainforest is something amazing because it's an example of balance, of equilibrium that is the most impressive equilibrium we can find. In the forest, life is completely perfect. There are no pests in the forest. There are no epidemics in the forest. The forest is the result of the adaptation of countless forms of life to bring up the apex of life development. It's a quite poetic statement, but I used to say that the universe is a supercomputer powered by starlight. Life is a musical algorithm composed by a hidden genius. Its score is written DNA, its memory are viral seeds riding on asteroids, and when they reach a stage, microorganisms take the podium with a baton of water. The planet is the orchestra, and life's symphony are the rainforests, the oceans, and the atmosphere. What most people don't know is that the world has many secrets and many incredible pathways. 47,000 million tons of African dust fertilize the Brazilian rainforests. The Calypso 6, a satellite from NASA, discovered a pathway of dust from Sahara, specifically from the center of Africa, from where there was an amazing ocean where the Sahara is today, specifically the depression of Baudelaire in Chad, where life was so abundant that still today it brings phosphorus and iron to the Brazilian rainforests. Without that, maybe those forests would not exist, at least in the full expression they have. And parts of this dust goes to the south, in the southeast part of the country, where the rainforest is. The rainforest is the greatest birth of biodiversity. And we are working with this microbiome of this forest. When we started capturing the microbiome, we have to develop different devices to capture the microbiome, and we have been very successful on this. And we have developed very specialized media to capture the microbiome, and we have had some captures of 25,500 different microorganisms. And we know this because we use the most advanced technology for this, that it's DNA sequencing. So, the microbiome of the Atlantic rainforest is the greatest reservoir of life on this planet. Microbiome sustains everything. I have visited the Planet Garden in Dubai, and I have read some very interesting things there. And they say that the composition of organic matter in soil that allow the green life to emerge, the plants to exist. But they don't say the actors that do that. The actors are the microbiome. And there's no microbiome similar to what we have seen in Brazil. We managed to capture this microbiome using very different, strange devices, using very simple parts. And we have used technology to analyze, to study, and to develop blends of microorganisms so powerful that we were able to cure a very severe disease, and after that to generate very powerful biofertilizers, probiotics, bioenhancers, bioremediators, mixes that are powerful enough to clean the water and to treat sewage and waste, to allow fish production and shrimp production. And we expand life. We collect very tiny amounts equivalent of a nail in a forest, and we collected the microbiome of areas in the forest where humans have never been, probably. We had to pay for specialized people in the forest to open ways so that we could reach places that no human being has ever been. And it's amazing that Brazil has still areas like that. And we propagate, we amplify, we expand this life in biofermenters and biodigesters and bioreactors. And we develop very powerful blends, probably the most powerful biofertilizers ever created. And it's been tested in a very large number of cultures. I won't take long on this. They are quite technical information, but no other biofertilizer has a variability of microorganisms such as ours. We have all kinds of genera of bacteria in our blends, with firmicutes being the most important. We have dozens of genera, specifically Bacillus, Levibacillus, Penibacillus, Luteolia, Frankia, and Lactobacillus, and other, which gives us extremely powerful fermentation capability. That's the power that changes the organic matter in the soil and fertilizers. These are the files we have. And also, our biofertilizers have impressive amounts of fungi, of many other genera. And we have developed blends that have a very important power: the nitrification power, root promotion, vitamin produces, control of pathogenic fungi, control of pathogenic bacteria, have metal mitigators, agrochemical degraders, the greatest biodiversity in any biofertilizer ever tested, volatile components, increase in biomass. I won't go much on this, but it's very important that our fermentation power is very impressive, and we capture a lot of carbon. Our blends, when are fermented, they expel some CO2, but they capture a lot more carbon, because nothing can capture more carbon than bacteria proliferating at a very high rate. Not a single tree can do that. We have areas that we can improve. For instance, our first blends, and this is an old slide, had a very low amount of bacteria from the roots, but we were able to capture bacteria from the roots and develop more powerful fertilizers for roots. We have a blend that it's very important for water denitrification, what allows reducing the consumption of water in fish and shrimp farming. We have to improve in some of our blends the availability of potassium and phosphorus, but we have managed to do this in new blends. But on average, we have never seen no fertilizer like the blends we have been producing. And it's not because of our technology or creativity alone, but it's mostly because of the different amount and types of microorganisms we've been able to capture. These are the challenges for agriculture. In Brazil, this in yellow are the most important challenges in Brazil. But in other countries, extreme weather, monocultures, lack of arable lands are also a problem, water shortage, and growing populations. We don't have those problems in Brazil, but we have excessive agrochemicals being used, too much pesticides, not enough workers due to wrong, as far as I understand, policies, and the high cost of energy. And I get very impressed when I see that we are changing this for this. We are collecting fruits in vertical farming with extreme automation. But my question is, are these beautiful fruits really as healthy as they should be? Probably not, but they have been enough to feed a lot of people. Actually, the disease I treated as a very powerful probiotic was a disease caused by a very civilized life poor of microorganisms. So when I give a blend of probiotic microorganisms, I have resolved 92% of the cases. And we need microorganisms in our food. We need microorganisms in our lives. And we are walking towards a very poor microorganism food, and it's important to avoid. Eventually, I used to say that in future McDonald's will have little sachets with probiotics to put in the sandwiches. It's amazing what is being done in vertical farming, as we have seen here. And it's incredible, it's important because it's a powerful way to produce food, but we need to make this food even healthier than it is. We are making also remarkable probiotics. Wait. Remarkable probiotics for animal breeding, for animal livestock production. And we have developed products for all these needs. Waste treatment and management, fish farming and shrimp farming, aquaculture and hydroponics, pollution treatment, cattle production, precision and small agriculture, medicine, health and fitness. And this is what our technology does. It feeds crops, fix nitrogen, cut chemical, capture carbon, and all things that I have been talking about here. And this is a very interesting picture because it shows what is life in the planet without our technology, with low productivity in agriculture and livestock, excessive of chemical, less pollinators, tasteless food, low productivity in fish farming, more waste and trash, and I can go on in this slide, saying all the problems that the lack of microorganisms produce, and the life with nanobiome is a very much healthier, rich, better, happier, more water, clean water, less waste, less diseases. My theory is that we can put panspermia on turbines. Let me talk about this for a few minutes. The theory that says the microorganisms came from outside the Earth is named panspermia. The Earth has been spreading microorganisms through all the planet. And when I mentioned the dust that comes from Africa, that goes from Africa to Brazil, I didn't mention that in that dust there goes microorganisms as well. So 123 types of different DNA, of bacteria DNA, have been found in that dust. And probably the Amazon and the rainforests, in the Atlantic rainforest, also results from microbiomes that came from West and Southwest Africa. And I think that the greatest challenge we have for agriculture today is to bring this technology, to bring the Atlantic rainforest microbiome all over the world. And we can do it using the technology that nature didn't have, turbines.
Dr. Ramos, we are running out of time.
The greatest challenge, as we have small-scale technology to spread microorganisms, is to use the big technology, the airplanes, the turbines, to propel it throughout the world. Toward a brave new world, clean, healthy, fertile, green, rich. To stop, sometimes we feel that nature is our boss, and we are working for a supreme being. And as I saw yesterday in the Museum of Future, we need to evolve, we need to create more technology, we need to spread microorganisms throughout the world, and research is the way to do this. This is a message I got from a friend that works here in the Emirates. He is a terraforming specialist, an innovator in sustainable agriculture for a greener planet, and he is enthusiastic of our research. We have been exchanging information for quite a while. Money doesn't grow on trees. We got the message. This is the award we got last year. And we got the memo. You got the memo. Thank you very much.